This looks simple, right? Glue two boards together, clamp them, done. Yet this joint manages to humble people constantly. So let's talk about why. A butt joint is just two pieces of wood meeting. No fancy interlocking parts, no tricks, just surfaces touching. That could be edge to edge like making a tabletop, or it could be edge to face like building a box. Same name, totally different situation. I don't know about you guys, but it's been a long winter here in Wisconsin. Thank God it's finally warm enough to film out here in the shop again. I'm back, baby! When gluing long grain to long grain, that joint is incredibly strong. If it fails, the wood will almost always fail before the glue does. That's because glue bonds into the wood fibers themselves. So edge-to-edge butt joints aren't usually weak. Most of the time, if something goes wrong, it's the prep. Now this is where things change. End grain is basically a bundle of straws. After all, it used to be a tree drinking water from the ground to feed the top part of the tree. When you put glue on end grain, it soaks in, and when it soaks in, it can actually starve the glue line. Instead of glue sitting between the boards forming a bond, it absorbs into the wood and leaves less glue at the joint itself. That's why end grain butt joints are weaker. It is still winter in Wisconsin, so my glue is a little colder than it should be. It's not soaking in quite as fast as I thought it would, but you get the point. You know, I actually did a glue test in another video where I used end butt joints on purpose because I knew they'd be weak. But now I'm kind of wondering if that was even the best test. If the glue wicked away from the joint and into the end grain, I might not have been testing glue strength. I might have been testing glue absorption or viscosity. So maybe I'll revisit that at some point. Most butt joint failures happen before you even get your glue out. If the edges don't meet cleanly, clamps aren't going to magically fix that. To actually fix that, lay the boards out the way they'll sit in the final panel. Fold them together like a book, so the faces are touching. Clamp them so they act like one thick board. Now plane both edges at the same time. Even if you're slightly tilted, that air mirrors itself. I'm checking for flatness because that also matters. Then when you open the boards back up, the edges cancel out. You don't need perfect, you just need matching. And if you'd rather use your table saw, it's kind of the same idea. Tape the boards together like a panel. Run your seam right through the blade. The blade trims both edges at the same time. Again, matching matters more than perfection. I'm curious how you guys are doing this. Are you using a planer? Are you using the table saw method? Are you using an actual joiner? Let me know in the comments. Frankly, I'm a lot better with my table saw than I am my hand planes. So for me, the table saw method wins hands down. And you can see how perfect this joint looks. When it comes to glue, thin and even is what you're after. You don't need a ton. Start clamping in the middle. Work your way outward. Alternate top and bottom clamps. The key is to apply balanced pressure. Clamps hold alignment, they don't fix bad prep. Cawls absolutely help prevent bowing across the panel, but honestly, I use them even more to keep the boards aligned. When you tighten clamps, boards love to shift up and down a little. Cawls help keep everything flush so you're not sanding a ridge later. That alone makes them worth using. Ideally, your cawl will have a little bit of a bow in it in the middle to help apply even pressure all the way across your glue up. But frankly, I just grab whatever scrap piece of wood I have laying around. Now, when you're running the end of one board into the face of another, you have to approach it differently. One thing that helps is sealing the end grain first. Brush glue onto the end grain and let it soak in for a few minutes. Then apply fresh glue and assemble the joint. You're basically filling those straws so the final layer of glue doesn't get starved. It won't make it as strong as long grain, but it definitely improves the bond. When I use end butt joints, I pretty much always reinforce them. I'll typically use dowels or pocket hole screws, and I still use glue. The mechanical fastener helps give the joint structure, and the glue helps lock everything together. That combination works really well in cabinet boxes and face frames. Glue alone on an end grain? I don't trust it. Edge-to-edge butt joints are great for making a tabletop, gluing up cabinet sides, building wide shelves, or creating panels. That's long grain to long grain, and it's strong. End to face butt joints work well on cabinet boxes, drawer boxes with reinforcement, and face frames. Just don't rely on glue alone there. Butt joints don't fail because they're bad. They fail because we use them in the wrong situation. We rely on end grain glue alone. We skip proper edge prep. We try to clamp boards into alignment instead of fixing the fit. Or we use this joint in a high stress application where it just isn't the right choice. Every joint has its limits. This one just makes those limits obvious. Well, I said butt joint a lot in this video, so let's hope it doesn't get demonetized. The butt joint looks simple, but it teaches you a lot. If you can get this right, clean edges, understanding grain direction, controlled glue ups, every other joint gets easier. This is the first joint in a series where I'm going to start simple and then work my way up to more complex stuff. And when I get to those harder joints, there's a very real chance you'll watch me struggle through some of them, because I'm still learning too. So if you want to build with me and maybe feel better about some of your own mistakes, stick around. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It really helps out the channel, and subscribe so you don't miss the next joint, whatever it is that I decide to tackle. We'll see you guys.